Welcome to the 5th SoA Podcast, the Halloween Spooktacular, with your frightful hosts, the gruesome I Goldies and the scary Squirrel, and we're also joined tonight by the creepy Baraxil. Hey guys.
Hey.
Yo.
So we're here, we're back. Yeah, the SoA Podcast is up and running again. This is good. Now that I've got rid of my responsibilities, I can focus my attention back on the podcast.
Got rid of your responsibilities. Nice.
So all of that stuff is good. So hello Christina. It's been a long time. We've not spoken for a while.
I know it's been a while.
And please welcome Carlos, who is, I think, on the podcast for the first time.
Hello.
It's nice to have you, Carlos. Why don't you introduce yourself a little bit?
My name's Carlos. My RuneScape name is Baraxil. You may have seen me around. I am Lord of Events in the clan, and I really like purple. Also, I just got Completionist cape like last week.
Congratulations again.
Yeah, congratulations on that. Alright, so I thought we'd begin tonight. It's, we're recording this, admittedly, it is the 2nd of November. It's a few days after Halloween, but following a Halloween theme, let's begin by diving right into the traditional Halloween theme and reading each other scary ghost stories. So, turn down the lights, and I shall read to you a scary RuneScape Halloween story. Now, this story is by a very good author, and it's actually from a RuneScape Forums story Halloweeny competition, which is run by a set of mods who are quite active on the stories forum, specifically Risk Wizard and his companion Cosmic, and various other people like Justin the Fifth, Tra, all those people who are quite active on the story forums. So, I'm going to read to you the story that won the competition. And this is a story that's set around Draenor Manor, as most of the stories are. You can probably understand why most Halloween stories are set around Draenor Manor. And this is by Ichuk. The warrior traversed over fallen trees and roots, intertwining themselves across the cobblestone. This trip towards Draenor Manor would be quite the task, he thought to himself. Using his agile skills he'd attained throughout his knighthood, the warrior finally arrived at the front of the manor. The sight of the house took his breath away. The warrior made his way up the steps, but before he could grasp the handle, the doors swung wide open. A deep, horrific voice spoke out to the warrior. "Sir," it whispered, like dead leaves scraping over dried flesh. "Sir." The warrior's head whipped around, its eyes searching for the voice's owner. There was nothing, just the quiet moaning of a weary breeze and the scratch of dead branches in the trees, just the last pulsings of fading night on the horizon. There was no one, nothing that could have uttered the words, but he had heard them, he knew he had. But now he began to doubt. Shrugging his shoulders, he turned back towards the door that had opened before him. That they had opened on their own was odd, but the inside of the mansion was even odder, stranger than anything he had ever seen on his wondrous journeys through Gielinor. Even if he had no affinity for the arcane himself, he knew its effects, and he knew likewise that this manor had magic graven into its timbers, ingrained so deeply that the spells might have come before the boards. Even he could feel it pulsing in his being. He almost did not hear the doors slam shut behind him, and that fact, to which he had been so oblivious, grounded him more than the slamming of the doors themselves. Almost afraid of what he would find, he reached for the handles. The doors did not budge an inch, no matter how hard he strained. The pulsing seeped back into his awareness, stronger this time, trying to overcome him, and he recognized it for what it was. Laughter. Ancient, dark, rhythmic in its rasping tone. The warrior shuddered, and tried the doors again, but with no more success than before. Sir! The voice came again, louder and more urgent. He looked around, trying once more to trace its source. Threatening staircase, old and leaning, boards rotten and twisted, loomed before him, disappearing into the darkness of upper levels. A lone flickering torch cast its fitful light through the room, deepening shadows and illuminating crimson carpet clear of dust, draped along the stairs as if to cover their disrepair. How the torch was lit, the warrior had hardly dared wonder. There had been no footprints beside his own on the approaching path. He took a step towards the stairs, and the floor squeaked. It turned into a wail as his weight shifted, and he cringed, trying to cover his ears through his helmet. Only when he stepped back did the screeching calm. But then he heard the voice yet again. "Please, sir, help me." This time he managed to trace its source to a twisted door to his right, hanging slightly open on rusty hinges. He stepped towards it, but that step screeched too, volume only increasing as he leapt from one floorboard to the next. The squeals rose around him in a haunting chorus, never ending now that he was away from the entrance. By the time he flung the door open to the next room, he was sprinting, booted feet pounding across the floor in rhythm with the screams, and as soon as he was clear, he slammed the door behind him and leaned against it, panting. But the voice came again, drawing him onward like a moth to a lantern. "Sir." 3 paces, blessedly silent, found him at the top of another staircase, more rickety than the first. It disappeared downwards into a black abyss that hid its feet. The warrior hesitated, but that was where he heard the voice. The first step was the hardest, and his foot fell lightly on the board. His breath held while he waited for it to splinter beneath its weight. It held, and the rest were easier. By the time he reached the bottom, darkness shrouded him. Darkness so deep that he could neither see his hand nor the upper end of the staircase. He shuddered, almost turned back, but the voice came again. "Help me, sir." It was close now, just ahead of him. He moved forward cautiously, one arm stretched out before him. His hand brushed something only once, something that tumbled away with a sickening sound of crunching bone. The warrior stopped and closed his eyes. He swallowed, but the thought of the voice calling for his aid. As if summoned, it came again, so close now. A new note entered its summons, not so raspy, almost clear and eager. "Sir! You can help me, sir!" He forced himself forward and brushed against something rusted like cloth, but seemed too stiff, too dry. He pulled it aside, revealing a small room, lit once more by a lone torch flickering in one corner. One wall, the wall he had come through, was made only of hangings like the one he had pushed aside, hangings that made him retch. Not cloth at all, but flesh, dried and stretched. Some of the skins still had dangling fingers and toes. Some still bore the shape of faces, warped by pain. The warrior barely managed to tear off his helmet before he vomited into the skulls and the bones that littered the floor beneath his feet. "Come now," the voice said, laughing now pulsing in his soul. "I welcome you into my humble home, and you respond with a mess? I had thought a fighter such as yourself would have a stronger stomach." The warrior looked up, his eyes darting in terror. A shape moved, slipping from shadows in the corner opposite the torch, swaying into the light. She was tall, taller than he, with a face as pale as the moon and as beautiful as the stars. Her hair, blacker than any night, rippled to her pale shoulders, almost to her sleeveless sable dress. His terror vanished, and she filled his head, the soft lines of her lips inviting him closer. He dropped to one knee before her, bowing his head. "My lady, you called for me." "Oh, yes," she said, her voice not rasping at all. It was beautiful now, full and rich, a voice to make his heart beat faster, with a face and curves to match. "I did. I need you, sir." He looked up, drowning in red eyes that gazed back into his own. "Anything, my lady. I'll help you in any way I can." She smiled, teeth like tiny daggers shining in the torch's light. Her hands swept out, lifting his chin, exposing his neck. "Very good," she chuckled. "Yes, very good. I have not had a feed in such a long, long time." Oh, don't know about you, but that sent shivers down my spine.
That was... yes. Wow, that was brilliantly written, too. And this is coming...
and narrated. Have you considered doing some, storytelling time at a public library near you?
Maybe I should, but that was a story by iChuck, and it won the round 1 ranking, and I think I might enter that next year, Halloween Stories.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun, actually. And congratulations to Chuck. Very well deserved. Sticking on the topic of Halloween, we've had the Halloween event with Team Highness versus Team Righteous, where you have basically ghosts have gotten out of their homes, if you want to call it that, the other worlds, and you have the two teams trying to, I don't even know the best way to describe it.
Take control?
Compete, yeah. You can take the side of Team Highness or Team Righteous, and we here at SoA took Team Highness and went throughout Gilnor to dismiss these feeble ghosts and get rid of them, and and I think it went well. I've only done a couple of them now. Haven't had a chance to really finish it up, but from what I've done, it is a lot of fun. How about you guys?
Yeah, I think it was like really, really similar to the Easter event we had last year. Well, this year actually. But I'm a bit disappointed we didn't get any Ghostbusters equipment.
That would have been fun, yeah.
Yeah. I am very disappointed with this update. I really am. I was looking forward to a nice Halloween quest like we've had the past couple of years.
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan of the Easter event. I'm not a fan of this event. Community events, I'm all for. Stuff like this is great. But do it alongside a proper themed update, I think. For an entire event, the rewards are pretty shocking. A few cosmetic items and something that helps you fight in ghosts and spirits. I'm only sure, for high-level players, that would be worth using against, spiritual warriors, mages and rangers when doing Slayer tasks.
Mm-hmm.
And how often do you get assigned those?
Yeah.
So maybe for God Wars or for Slayer, the reward might have been useful for high-level players. But I think, in all fairness, I think it was a bit of a cop-out of an event. Don't get me wrong, I would have liked it if it would have been alongside a proper quest or some kind of storyline event.
With all the nice Jagex puns and stuff that they always throw in there.
Yeah, you see, you miss out on that. You miss out on some good, creative Halloween humour that Jagex could have thrown in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would have been quite good. Let's see.
I remember the one last year we had, the Halloween event for last year was when RuneFest was happening and we had to do Citadel stuff. That was pretty fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Death Citadel. I missed that, actually. I was quite annoyed.
Yeah, it was
Not because I was at RuneFest either. That annoyed me even more.
It was actually, that was event was a lot of fun. My first time at the Citadel, in fact, if I'm not mistaken. So...
Yeah, especially because it was like a treasure trail hunt, and with like little clues that you had to like figure out, and in the clan chat we did a lot of like helping each other around and trying to crack the clues, and it was a lot of fun. Like everybody like, oh, I got number 14, I got number 14. Yeah, that was fun.
Excellent. I wasn't in the clan for that, unfortunately, and my clan was way too small to be able to do anything properly. At the time, I was running a clan back then. There isn't really much to say about that event, aside from it can be completed 4 times, and I need to do it.
A bit redundant, don't you think? Huh.
Yeah, but then again, you want the holiday updates to be redundant in a sense, because you don't want someone who joins in 2 years' time being at a significant disadvantage because they didn't get the Halloween reward from 2012.
Yeah.
So you do want them to be redundant in a sense, but you can still expect a good event. I mean, we've got Thanksgiving coming up next, haven't we? They'll do an event for Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
I hope that that's something good.
Yeah. They're doing the Thanksgiving title competition. I don't know if you've seen that.
Oh yeah, what's that about?
It's a competition where people have to think of a player title, like I don't know, the Gobbler or something, and then your name. And I was trying to think of a good one, but it seems like all the good ones have been taken.
And will that get added? The best one will get added into the game?
Yeah, into the game.
Oh, awesome. That's a good way. I like it when they kind of, promote player contributions to the game.
It's really good.
So,
I remember there was what's it called? The troll battlefield place at Berthorpe, that there was a wounded soldier that you had to voice, and people had to submit entries for him saying, "Oh my God, I'm so wounded," and stuff.
yes, I remember that, and the nurse as well.
Yeah, and the nurse, and you go there and talk to him, and it's really good, the voice acting. I'm pretty impressed.
I saw a video of them doing some of the voice recording, and they did it over Skype. And I was like,
That's
is
not
it really
surprising at all.
This is how
Is it really that good quality?
this is how it's done in Jagex. Come on.
I might, given the, the positive feedback I've had from Carlos, I might, ring them up after this and offer to voice, someone in the new quests.
Oh yeah.
I think I could make a good Ariane.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll do that. I shall ring them up and see what I can do.
I wouldn't be surprised if they took you.
Yeah.
They'll be like, "Oh, it's Stan, of course. Yes, let's allow."
Oh, just
Because I'm well known to
Yes.
content developers at Jagex.
Of course.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I'll take your word for that. So it's November, and with November brings the November behind the scenes. So the November behind the scenes was released today or yesterday, and it looks interesting. They're doing more revamp of old content. So we start with next week's update, which will be the Tears of Guthix update, which allows, with 80 crafting and 80 mining, you can get a bigger bowl, so you can get more of the precious tears, meaning more XP, up to 5 times as much as you got before in your lowest skill. And I think the quest is being reworked, and the area is getting a revamp, which should be quite good.
Yes, I was actually watching the BTS for it just a little bit ago, and it looks really interesting, and I'm really excited for it.
I don't do Tears of Guthix anymore. I will have to start doing Tears of Guthix again.
yeah. I guess that's a good thing, because for some people that's dead content, and they're revamping it, and it'll be shiny, and people will go there again.
Yeah. I was when I first did it, I was I ran out of quests pretty quickly.
Oh yeah.
Because with having, you had to get 1 quest point a week or 100k experience.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got my quest cape, so I was like, what do I do now? It's going to be near on impossible for me to get 100k of experience a week.
Yeah.
And I'm now, I'm getting 400 or 500k experience a week.
Mm-hmm.
And I've not gone up that many more levels. So, see.
Dungeoneering.
So, yeah.
That's...
Yeah. That's all you need to do now. Just do 2 dungeons, and you're pretty much set.
Yep.
Yeah. Speaking of dungeoneering, we're getting a dungeoneering XP increase for solo dungeons and small groups.
That's gonna be great.
That's gonna be very interesting to see how they do that.
High-level solo XP will be topped at 350k per hour, possibly even higher depending on how you cleared the rooms. And it's still most rewarding for a group of 5, thankfully.
Yeah.
But it means that if you 2 aren't online and the people in the dungeoneering channels are being idiots again, I can solo dungeoneer.
Yeah, that's people in dungeoneering channels for you. But yeah, it'll be really interesting.
Yeah.
So that should be good.
Yeah. I know a lot of people that aren't really used to doing it in teams, and they don't really, they just want to do it in their own pace and stuff, and I think it's great for people that just want to have a relaxed floor and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for those of us that have been dungeoneering enough that we enjoy doing the fast-paced dungeons, if we ever just want to take a break, it'd be interesting to kind of be able to do that as well.
Yeah,
definitely. What else we're getting? We're getting a revamp of Rune Mysteries and a new quest called Rune Memories, which is members only, which are going to feature the lovely Ariane, which I'm going to be voicing.
Oh, good. I'm going to be looking forward to that.
Yes, for the second time this year, we're releasing 2 exciting quests at the same time, focusing on one of our heroic trio of adventurers. So yeah, that should be good. It's all about the runes. The Wizard's Tower is getting a massive revamp, as is the area of South Draenor, in terms of graphics and audio. So I'm so much looking forward to seeing those. We're getting new titles, new mage outfits, and new mage weapons for low-level players, rune essence rewards that grow as your runecrafting levels increase, and there'll be additional hidden rewards for high-level players. I don't know how many people actually knew about it at the time, but after the Ozan quests, there are hidden rewards for players who have 80 in certain skills or more. I'm still yet to get them.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't even gone to go get them yet, so...
Those kinds of rewards are my favorite rewards. Ones that, after a quest, you get a lick from. Yeah, I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah. That was nice to see. We're also getting gravestone improvements, like a re-equip all and take all buttons, a make X button, finally, after, like, what is it now? Like,
Forever.
7 years of people, RuneScape's 11 years old. 11 years of people asking for a make X button. We've now got a make X button on things like cleaning herbs, and, and various bits and bobs. So, yeah, it will be good. Oh, what else does it say on here? Apparently it's going to be the largest update this month. It's going to be bigger than 2 quests.
What? No.
That's what it says. A complete overhaul to interfaces and systems used when making items. Takes all of the information about item production and sticks them in one place. This means you won't have to frantically click through skill guides. And you'll also have make X options in things like herbs and potions and what have you.
I think that if you go on the beta right now, you can, see the make X thing in action. I saw it for
Yes, you can, actually. I did it today when Dan and I stopped in for... we were doing the beta, and we were doing some dungeoneering together, and I saw it for a couple different things, and I have to say the skill interface looks really awesome.
Yeah, the dungeon that we did a warped, Carlos, and that was quite good fun. It was I wanted to see how dungeoneering would work with these new skills, and it's actually impossible to bind a decent number of abilities with the required dungeoneering stuff, like the protection prayers, gatestone, teleport to, teleport to gatestone, etc. All those. So I ended up binding the 3 gatestone spells, couldn't bind home teleport, binding abilities, couldn't bind any food, bound 2 prayers, and then had to set the 3rd as my quick prayer, so that I still had access to it. So, I get that there are only, 11, 12 slots on the adventurers, on the adventure bar, but it would be, a few more are required, I think.
I think you gotta use all that, oh my god. Yeah.
To be fair, it's pretty easy. Once you do the tutorial, which is another thing, today, the Combat Academy and beta access for all free players and paying members all the time was released, and that does give you a good tutorial on the new combat system.
Yeah, that's good. Because I know a lot of people go on the beta and they're like, ooh, buttons, let's press them.
You're talking about me, aren't you? Yeah, it was actually a lot of fun, learning how to do it, and it's all it's voice acted, not fully voice acted, but it is, there's certain spots you're like, shouldn't you be talking, and you're not, but it was good.
Yeah, there are certain bits of glitched lines of dialogue that don't have any audio, which is a bit of a shame.
That's where you come in, right?
That's where I come in. I voice the combat lady, yeah.
Yep.
There were some people there, like NPCs. One was called Will D.
Alright.
One was Mini Gamer. And Bar Rose.
Which one will you take?
I'll voice them all. I'll do them all. I'm a man of many voices.
Alright.
I'm an old man.
The combat lady. Hey, big boy, I want to show me your sword.
Wow.
Did you guys know that there is a new Jagex game coming out.
Transformers?
Not Transformers, it's called Ace of Spades, I think.
Oh.
I heard about it, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I've heard
It's essentially... I don't know if you two are familiar with the massive phenomenon of Minecraft.
Yeah.
But it's essentially a combat version of Minecraft, in which you create a battlefield and then fight each other. The thing is, I'm going to show you the website now, actually, and I'll see if I'll get a screenshot and post it on the video. Just have a look at the graphics and the way that it looks, and tell me if it looks familiar.
Alright, let's check it out. I mean, there's nothing more fun than building stuff and then getting...
Crafting those mines? I just like crafting things.
And then killing people. Yeah, that's fun.
Oh, this does look oddly familiar.
Let's see. It does look very squarish, like a Minecraft.
With exactly the same kind of body armor, except these guys have got elbows and knees.
Yeah.
And they have weapons.
Coming soon.
But Ace of Spades is coming soon to Steam. You can enlist now for exclusive updates at www.aceofspades.com.
Clan stuff going on right now, guys. If you do not know, and if you have been immersed for 2 months, which is our regular ranking within the clan, we have recruitment team applications are open right now. You can apply for that. You're going to, if you go look at the, I believe it's in, see if the forms are in so slow, I'd be able to tell you. But I know you can send them to Princess Ray, our resident Eldar of Resources, as well as Roving Fish, our Lian of Recruitment. And then you should hear back, I don't know, depends on when we decide to close the applications. It's usually about a week or so after that we announce who has received these positions. If you are one of the newer members of our community and you have been referred by someone, we are no longer doing referrals as of today. Meaning everyone has to wait the 2 weeks before they can apply after the intro into the clan. And so we do welcome everyone who has joined our ranks since the last podcast. And we welcome all new people, as always, to the clan.
Events coming up. Carlos, you have a mini-game bonanza tomorrow, don't you?
Ooh, yeah. It looks like it's gonna be Castle Wars. It's like in the lead with 3 extra votes or something like that. Yeah.
What did I vote for? I voted... what did I vote for? I can't remember, but I voted for something that was actually fun.
I voted Castle
Barbarian
Wars.
Assault or Pyramid Plunder?
Pyramid Plunder I voted for.
I voted for that as well. I voted
yeah.
as well.
I think by the time this podcast is published, it will either be in the very run-up to the event, or the event will already have happened. So if you're listening to this before the event, great. It went, have fun. It'll be a great event. Whatever we're doing, delete as appropriate Castle Wars, Pyramid Plunder, or Barbarian Assault. You'll have a lot of fun. Why don't you check it out and go to it? If you're listening to this after it happened, wasn't it a great event, Carlos? You did so well.
It was horrible. It was horrible.
We'll delete as appropriate depending on how the event went, I think. Yeah. So, what else have we got coming up? SoA gives our sincere condolences and messages of support to those members and their families and friends affected by the terrible devastation caused by Superstorm Sandy in North America over the past few days, and we hope and sincerely wish that the worst of the devastation has happened, and as the storm moves further northward, it doesn't become any more severe. So, anyone who's affected, I know Erica, Jeff, and you guys live in New York, and I know many other people whose names I don't know live in New York and Pennsylvania, and we hope that you can get back on your feet as soon as possible, and that everything gets back to normal.
Yes, that is a very big thing, is we really do hope that it gets better.
Yeah, our family's safe.
Definitely. And if you do need any more information on how things are progressing, I'm sure you could speak to any member of the clan who lives in that area, or you could check your news outlets. check the shout box periodically for spur events, as well as the events board when it works for clan events that are being held. So yeah, I think that is our lot, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for listening. Thank you to Christina, my glamorous host as ever, and to Carlos, who joined us for the first time and did very well, Carlos. We would be happy to receive you again.
Yes.
I still can't believe you called her the scary squirrel at the start of the podcast.
Well, you know, I am very scary, Ed. We all know this.
I've seen her snap. I've seen her snap on TeamSpeak. She's very scary.
Yes, he has, and unfortunately, as well as some, has a few others. So
yeah, thank you very much for listening, guys. This podcast was brought to you courtesy of the Spirits of Arianwyn RuneScape clan at www.soa-rs.com. Links to any items that we've discussed will be in the description below, or to the side. I'm not sure where the description is now on this new YouTube layout, which is still confusing me. Thank you very much for listening, and we will see you again very soon. Bye, guys.
See ya.